Thank you for joining us for this episode of That Solo Life, the podcast for PR pros and marketers who work for themselves. People like me, Michelle Kane with VoiceMatters, and my ever steady co-host Karen Swim of Solo PR Pro, where all the savvy smarties gather. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hey, Michelle. I'm doing great. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing well. Can't complain. Can't complain. Here we are. By the time this episode airs, we will be in December. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a little scary. It's that time of year. It is that time of year.
Yes, all the dates kind of cascade upon each other, and oh my goodness, we all have an extra layer of things on our minds as we're trying to wrap up work and make sure we don't miss any holidays. And there's always family members and people with birthdays in December too. I don't know how they allow that, but
I
it's
know.
okay.
Not to mention the layers of extra clothing and extra tasks for those of us who
Yes.
live where it rudely snows.
Yes.
So yeah, there's all the things and it's all happening so fast. And I just want to make like a bear and hibernate.
So while December is being all extra, we're going to talk a little bit about the extra of personal branding today. How's that for a
Yeah.
segue? It's important. I was just skimming an article from Forbes saying that, yes, you needed to stand out. And I think it's the Gen Xer in me, or I don't know, the introvert, whatever. It's like, oh, do I have to? And the answer is, yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, we've all, for many of us, obviously we're in public relations. And so we believe in personal branding as well as
Right.
corporate branding. We have probably helped many executive in our careers to ensure that their executive brand was as polished and as thorough as the corporate brand. And, we build thought leadership programs to support and amplify that. But when it comes to us and looking at our colleagues and our peers, I know for me, it's easy sometimes to become jaded when you've been doing this job for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like the way that we feel about email marketing. We know that it works. We know the right way to do it, but we don't want to do it ourselves because
Yes.
we struggle with inboxes that are constantly overflowing because we have to, as per our job, we have to have a lot of information coming at us. So sometimes when I look at personal brands, I'm like, ugh, everybody's perfect, everybody's smart, everybody's winning, and you feel a little exhausted. So
Yeah.
I guess, what we want to look at today is like looking past our own fatigue at,
Mm.
what's really working in
Yeah.
personal branding and is it really effective anymore? Because it seems like everybody has a brand. I mean, 10-year-olds have a brand. They're adhering to their own brand guidelines and everybody's got perfectly polished, Instagram worthy photos and everybody seems to have like a platform and they've all got their stuff. And in a world where personal branding is super accessible in terms of the visual look and feel, and even with content these days, which used to be the differentiator, everyone has access to be able to create content that aligns with their personal brand. Is it all worth it? How do we stand out? Do we want to stand out? Do we care?
No, I know what you mean, and I think it's especially difficult for us because we work in branding people and places and things that we can see it a mile away, right? When we can see it when it's, so shiny, and not that there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but I almost feel like we are all audiences are craving a lot more authenticity. And I know that buzzword's been around for a while. But I mean real, like keep it real. Because
Yeah.
we've all seen the templates and we all know, sure, have the photo shoot, that's great. But I feel like we're at poised on this next layer of personal branding of no, I really want to know what you're about. I want to know what truly makes you different, not just, she's lit really well. Oh, okay. Everything's saying all the right things. And I think the additional differentiator is going to be letting more of yourself show, if that makes sense. Like, I want to know what
Yeah.
makes you tick, what you're about. Like, if it's a situation where I'm looking to work with someone, show me the warts. I don't necessarily need to see the sheen.
Yeah, I think, we've always talked about this in public relations and in marketing. We've talked about transparency, and we understand that you're never fully transparent because
Right.
that's not a smart move to make, but we've talked about authenticity a lot over the years, and I think, I agree with you that being the personal branding today, in a lot of ways, it's missing personality. So
Yes.
it's shiny and it's bright and it's happy and it's beautiful and it's visually appealing and the aesthetics are amazing. But sometimes a little grit, a little of you really does help to stand out, because at the end of the day, we know that today more than ever, people want to connect with people. They
Mhm.
don't, they connect with corporations often, even because of the people side of it, because of how that company shows up in the world and what they stand for. And, that doesn't always have to mean social values or political viewpoints. It can sometimes mean, a brand that's true to being funny,
Yeah.
and they bring humor, they're light, or a brand that, cares about issues. It can be issues driven, but that they're true to who they are, and that you see something that says, yeah, that's that brand. And we talk about Patagonia a lot. That's, a great example. Even Apple's a great example of a tech company that's really true to who they are. They are who they are. They make
Yeah.
no apologies for it. With the personal branding, sometimes it does feel like everybody's interchangeable. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, you're great. You're smart. You're winning. Ugh, another award. Good for you. Yay, you. What a beautiful picture. And like
Yeah.
you, sometimes I want to see the grit. I want to see behind that shine. I
Yeah.
want to know, how'd you really get there? I want to hear some of the reality, because we know that your story, what you're sharing, your
Yeah.
expertise didn't come without some bumps along the road. And you don't have to bear all, but it's nice when people are honest about what it really takes.
Yeah. Yeah. I can think of people that I, follow on Instagram, both professionally and, just for fun. And, yeah, they have their polished brand, but they'll also just pop on, they'll just shoot a quick video, whether it's sitting at their desk or in their car, and just talk about something, quickly, and just be relatable. It's not like,
Yes.
oh, I have my ring light. Oh, wait. Oh, and they're like, okay, now it's no. They just say, hey, you know what? This crossed my path today, and I'm dealing with, feeling like an imposter. And, sometimes I feel like that, blah, blah, blah. And it's just these little moments of relatability. And I
Yeah.
think, yes, thank you. Exactly. Now, that doesn't take away from the professional expertise that they offer. Not
Yeah.
one bit. So I think, and I'm not saying that that's a new thing. It's not, but I think that's a way to go a little deeper with your personal branding.
And I think you hit on something that's really key. It's not really all the shiny aesthetics. That's great, because I look at those and, I'm learning, because I do videos and I am a hot mess. I don't have it all together. I don't have all the tools and all the shiny stuff. So I'm an example of somebody that's like, if you want to see a hot mess, but I am who I am.
No.
And all the stuff, I'm probably still to a degree going to be kind of a hot mess. It's not that. I think what you said, as communicators, we really know this and we drive this into the companies that we work with. Far too often, people hide behind their playbook. And executives do this all the time. It's corporate jargon. And
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like pulling teeth to just get them to communicate. Talk to me like I'm a human being. So I
Yeah.
think what you said is really key. It's focusing more on connecting with your audience in a real way by using words that are relatable and understandable, and not defaulting to your industry playbook, whatever industry you might be in, and being so concerned with sounding smart to your audience that you lose them because you're not relatable. That to me is one way to stand out.
Yeah.
And understanding the reality, and it's interesting because I feel like companies have really had to grasp this with the tension between work from home, return to office. They
Mm.
finally figured out, look, we got multi generations in the workforce. We have a diverse group of people that we're working with diverse opinions, with diverse preferences. We ain't going to satisfy everybody. So we got to
Right.
just do what we got to do. And some people are going to be unhappy, and we just have to live with that. And
Yeah.
I feel like more of us need to adopt that attitude, realizing we are never going to be able to satisfy all of the people all of the time. And that should
Right.
never be our goal.
Yeah.
So be yourself. It's funny because I even feel like sometimes that when we think we're sharing a bit of ourselves with people, that too just becomes so sanitized,
Yeah.
like, oh, I am the yoga wearing, meditating, PR professional. And it's so pretty and perfect. Like, so now you've just incorporated fitness influencer into your brand, and it's annoying. Like, I don't look that good in my yoga pants. I'm sorry.
No. No.
I
No. Which
can't
is
sit for 5 minutes to meditate. So it's not, but that's okay because that person probably is not for me. And I'm being a little
exactly.
facetious. I'm not attacking people. Please don't take that away. I really am being a little facetious. But the point is, we should be relatable. Just
Yeah.
communicate. Get down a
Yeah.
notch. You're still winning. You're still beautiful, wonderful, smart, and shiny. But just make sure that you talk to people in a way that's real. Like,
Yeah.
be your true self as a communicator.
Yeah. Well, and it's important what you said because not everybody is going to be for everybody, and that's okay. And to your point about, those that stick to their playbook and the jargon and flip that around because if that's all you're doing and it's like you have a really difficult time being relatable, that's
Yeah.
almost going to make me question your credibility because if
Yeah.
it feels like you're just being stilted all the time and reciting the right things, I'm thinking, is there some there if I don't have any other evidence of it? Is this all just a bit of a show? So that's something to think about. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I'm not saying be Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack, although, there's people for that persona too. But
Yeah. But I mean, it's funny that you could lose people even when you're being creative.
oh yeah.
I read this funny BuzzFeed article. It was kind of funny, but a BuzzFeed article that was asking people, what movie did you see and you thought, what the heck did I just watch? So we all can name a movie that we watch.
Yeah.
Movies are entertainment, right? They're
Right.
for your enjoyment, your pleasure. And sometimes the writers, the people behind the movie are so busy being clever and different that they
Yeah.
lose you. And you sit through the movie and you go, what was that?
What just
I
happened?
I, I can't get that 2 hours of my life back. And so don't be that, don't
Yeah.
be the movie The Circle, which was horrid. I promise you. I sort of got what they were trying to say and do, but that was one of the recent movies in history where I was like, what did I just watch? Because that was pretty bad.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Nothing's coming to mind super quickly of what.
Yeah, like,
Well, and it's harder when you can see it, right? You can see them trying so hard and
yes,
and it's almost painful and you think,
yes,
"No, no,
yes. So
don't do
even if
that."
you're, funny, comedian, you're entertaining, that's part of your personal brand. Make sure that you're not too clever for your audience or it won't land.
Right, right. So what we're really saying is, you know what? Keep it as natural as you can. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to show parts of your personality and your branding. It's honestly, at the end of it all, it's really a way to let people get to know you
Yeah.
And, there's that know, like, and trust factor of people wanting those 3 items fulfilled to do business with you. So, we hope this chat today has been helpful as we enter what some call the silly season. We hope you're
Yeah.
keeping your wits about you. And if you did get value from this, please do share it around. We would really appreciate that. That would be the best gift you could give us this year. And until next time, thanks for listening to That's All a Life.